So Aries, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. If I can, I know that some of you guys are asking about, generally, not just Aries, that you're asking about the decks that I use. I'll try to tell you what decks that I use, but also in the description box, right way beneath the extended video link, you will see that there is a whole list of like the 10 or 11 decks that I use. I have to update them, but that's a good start if you're curious. Anyway, you know, Aries, before I start every reading, I cleanse my space and I really try to focus on, I literally focus on and ask the angels, spirits, entity, and energy around me. Tell me not what they want to hear. Tell me what they need to hear. Need based on what's going to make them happy and lead them to their highest self. And the first card that came out after I asked this question is this Lenormand card. And the bear really speaks of leadership, but it can also speak of dominance. It could speak of authority, but it could also speak of authoritarianism, which is somebody trying to make somebody bend to their will. What I saw when the card came out, what I intuitively picked up on was there's something very formidable that you're up against right now. And Aries, there just feels like there's a little bit of a secretiveness about you. Doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but something not necessarily, or you not being able to be completely open about something, or you not wanting to be open about something. And it could have something to do with knowing the weight of something on you, knowing the impact that an announcement or information, if it got out, would have. So there is just this looming sense of responsibility, let's say it that way, right now in your life. Let's get into the cards. Aries. Please bring me messages that they need to hear. Okay, that's crazy. Leadership. I mean, there's like 72 cards in this deck, and like this is the Mystical Wisdom deck. I mean, that's crazy to me because of all cards, leadership comes out with leadership. So definitely this sense of set your goals. What is it that you want? Make that decision and make the commitment. So lots of times we make the decision, okay, what do I want? Sometimes I can come, that's the easy part. How do I get it? How do I get it is not just how do I make a plan, because plans are shit. Plans always go astray. What you have to do is stay focused on why you want something and why you picked it to begin with, why it matters. Because if it doesn't really matter, then you won't be able to maintain the momentum that it's going to take to continue and follow through. This for you is more about emerging as a leader, Aries. Somebody who has come full circle, somebody who is coming out of that hard road. It's not solved for you, you solved it. And because of that, it's almost like the leader that didn't choose to be a leader, the leader that was picked and not one that ran for election. That's kind of it. It's like the person who earned their leadership. Okay. Set your goals. And this is Leo energy. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Leo, but there basically is something pretty formidable. Like I said, it could be you that is assuming that role of leader, of being the one who is formidable. I mean, you might not be up against it. This could be you. And then you have Moon. So Moon is all about emotions and understanding what you feel. And then money. Okay. I think this is about, the way that I interpret this is about understanding how money has influenced your feelings about yourself, about other people, but most especially about how you feel about who you are. This overwhelming sense of, have I failed because I did this instead of this? I only make this instead of this. This could also be, cha-ching, cha-ching, an opportunity that's finally emerging after had just been a thought or a possibility for you. There does seem to be a nice influx of financial resource. Okay. Aries. Nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, so you're still working on something. I think you know what? It's almost like in some ways you're trying to contain yourself. I don't want to get too psyched about this. I don't want to get too hyped. You can feel the shift in the air and the celebration that is impending, but you don't want to necessarily jump to conclusions and act like you already have something. You're playing this conservatively. Hold your vision. Nothing is yet set in stone. And these are the two cards that confirm it. And then you have this moon card that says, listen, there's still a ways to go. I acknowledge that. I'm emotionally comfortable with that. I'm not being reactionary. Remember, Mars is still in Cancer. So he's not reacting or pushing forward the way that he would if he were in a fire sign, or even an air sign. He is allowing things, he's just kind of like allowing things to sort of unfold and then going with what unfolds. Not in the way that he's letting the folds decide his journey for him, but that he's deciding how he's going to use the resources in front of them at every step. Instead of trying to get everything organized first or just plow through, he's kind of just like, well, what do I have with me in this moment? So hold your vision. Nothing is yet set in stone. You're not quite certain. In other words, you don't have the abundance in your hand yet. And so you're being very conservative with what you say to people, how you talk about it. You have a great feeling. I know you do. But you don't want to get yourself too excited because it is directly related to a disappointment that you experienced before. This is what you can liken this to, and this may not be, this is just an example because this is not your relationship reading. Your relationship reading is in the extended reading. It's 2 readings in one video. The continued message that articulates specifics from this reading, and then the romance specific reading. So that link is below always, Aries. But this, let me give you the example, Aries, is like you just met somebody. Say you got out of a really bad relationship, long karmic relationship. You know they cause us a lot of pain. And it took a long time. So maybe you took a few years off of even dating, right? And then you meet somebody and you really like them. And there's a lot of great energy and there's a lot of great chemistry. But because of the remembrance of pain, you don't want to jump the gun. And maybe just not even remembrance of the pain, because you learned your lesson. You don't want to jump into something too quickly. You want to know somebody better before you get psyched about them. And I think that's where you're smart right now. You don't want, it's not that you're hurt or you're scarred or even traumatized, and you could be. That could be part of your decision. But I think in the healthy perspective, what you're going through, Aries, is this, I'm just gonna enjoy what I have, and I'm gonna love this moment, but I'm not gonna count my chickens before they've hatched. And I'm not gonna say I'm in love yet until I know this person better, because I learned my lesson from before. It's not about emotional scars. It's about realizing what I did wrong and not repeating that. That's kind of the mentality right now. It's a much more conservative mentality, but it also feels really kind of firm and solid. It's giving you some sort of stability. I am sealed. That means it's locked in. There's fate and destiny at work here. You're already guaranteed. Guaranteed, I think, success and abundance. But you're also sealed as in, I'm patient. I'm waiting. I'm not going to reveal my hand until I have to. Aries. 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 Lots of these cards came out. This is the Psychic Tarot deck. First two cards, Spiritual Union and Triumph. Well, that should tell you all you need to know if you're dealing with a romance relationship. You know, it's also that you've learned to, it's also that you've learned to be more mature when dealing with relationships. You know, it's a sense of, I've conquered the relationship conquering me or getting ahead of myself. I'm connecting now with somebody, heart, mind, and soul, not just their body. Their body, absolutely, but also other things. Because I don't want to just get excited about the concept of somebody. I want to get excited about somebody. And that takes time to get to know them. But look at this. Some sort of triumph. Now, this also for me is like almost like the lovers. So it's like, or the Two of Cups. So it's very Gemini energy, listening to each other, being open to somebody else's perspective and learning through somebody else's perspective. That's going to lead you to a great deal of success. Somebody might have given you some really good advice. Take your really good advice and go with it. And then we have awareness. Awareness trapped in fear. So why were you trapped in fear? That's the real powerhouse right now, is that you're suddenly aware of where your fear was coming from. You're suddenly aware of fear. You're suddenly aware of the decisions that you're making or you were tempted to make because of fear. And that it's almost like you're aware of why you were stuck in the same position you were. Suddenly you get what was happening. Patience, willing to plant the seeds and take things slowly this time because you become aware of what led you to the hurt and suffering before, and destiny. So yeah, and this may be part of your confidence, is that you can feel that there's something good about this moment. You can feel that you don't have to overreact. You can feel that you can be calm, that you don't have to chase anything. You could take one step at a time and it's still going to be there for you. There's a confidence level that wasn't there before, and it has to do with destiny. This is also telling me this has been growing for a while. This seed was planted for this success, this awakening, this understanding, this triumph. The seed was planted a long time ago, and now you're starting to see its growth and development. And then you have suffering and silence and mental conflict. Okay. You don't want to talk about this out loud. You're actually wanting to sit back and wait. Let the information come to me. I don't want to jump to conclusions. Unfortunately, I don't really like these energies because why? Oh, 9 + 2 = 11. And that's what awareness and awakening is. You're not arguing. You're not fighting. And that's because Mars is in Cancer. You're not arguing, you're not fighting. You're gonna sit and listen. That's what you want. You want to let them do the talking. You want to let them spew and just almost understand, not be right. For right now, it's not about winning the fight. It's a how am I going to move myself forward when I have to cross a battlefield. It's not about win. It's about move forward. And so however I can move myself forward, I'm going to do that. Now, this suggests that there's some sort of turmoil that you've been going through, suffering in silence, that you have not shared with other people. Okay. Aries. 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 Decorate. You may be trying to keep a good face when you're really scared inside. You know, your whole world feels like it's falling apart. I'm going to tell you this right now. Your whole world is not falling apart. And in some ways, it may need to fall apart. Like this coming into shambles that you're trying to like wade yourself through, let the collapse happen. The collapse needs to happen. The only reason why you're not seeing what you need to see is because there's still a wall blocking you. And you are doing everything you can to hold that wall up. Let it go. Let it fall. Because what you really need is to see what's on the other side. And I know, it's scary. I know. It's also liberating. And freedom can be scary. And then we have, there's something that you desire that you've been being held back from, that you've been holding yourself back from. And ultimately, it's a denial of your spirit. It's a sacrifice of your soul, and it has to stop. So Aries, a strong channeling message is coming through me. Don't deny your desires and stop treating them like they're dirty or wrong. You need to go to them or allow them. Like demystify them. Don't make them demons or monsters. Look at them for what they really are. You know, like look at their truth. Look at your truth. This is something this is something that you have to love yourself enough to allow right now. This is definitely about desires, about what do you really want, right? And it could very well be that the formidable aspect in your life is that you don't know what you really want right now. And that's okay too. But that's even more reason why you got to let that wall fall so you can get a better view. Or you're just afraid that what you want, you're always going to be pulled back from. And that's what's scaring you. It could be feeling like leadership just never recognizes what you're doing or all the quality that you bring. Their ignorance is not your problem. What your focus has to be is being true to your, not only your love, what you love to do, but also being true to your courage, being true to your masterfulness. Don't dumb down your shine just because somebody's too stupid to see it, because that will start to teach you that will start you devaluing yourself, and that's not what you want. And then we have timeless earth. So this is getting back to your truth. Also getting back to nature. It's almost like the cards are saying Aries needs a second. They need a fucking second to just like take a weekend, take a day, really go out into nature where you are isolated and alone and you can focus on who the fuck you are. It's what you need. And when you put your feet in that dirt and you look up into that sky or into that sunshine or let the rain fall on, whatever, it's actually going to have a cleansing impact on you. So you remember that you're not alone ever, and you can reconnect with truth. And then power is here. And you have a natural power and ability about you. That doesn't mean brandishing your power. People who really have power don't have to flaunt it. And Aries, this is almost like what you're recognizing. You don't have to flaunt your power. You just have to enter the room and be you. Eventually, the people who are really looking for the real one will see you, because the others will embarrass themselves and fall to the wayside. You have that power. If you love this video so far, and I hope you do, please like the video and then share the video to your social media platforms. I also ask that if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell and choose all notifications. I upload Aries along with Gemini and Taurus every single Thursday, like clockwork, before 6 a.m. LA time. And then I also have another channel called Astrology Motivation, which I hope that you'll join as well. You can subscribe. I'll attach the link below. That's where I post my weekly astrology forecast, which is a day-by-day play-by-play of the astrology and how it will impact you energetically each week. Each and every day during that week. And I also post my astrology motivation videos there, which tell you how to manifest with specific energies, as well as my daily tarot readings. I do daily tarot card readings live. So if you want to join me live, come over on Instagram, born_without_boundaries. And you can join me live every single Monday through Friday for that live reading, or you can catch them afterward on IGTV or Astrology Motivation. Lots of content, guys. So I invite you to share it with me. I'm making this so that you'll be happy. Soulmates. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. Soulmates. So this is the confirmation. You must be you, because your soulmate is true. Your soulmate is real. This is finding the connectivity to the real ones, to the true ones. And I think Scorpio got a very similar message, so you might want to go over there and watch that one too, Aries. But this is soulmate energy, which is somebody who really was, was designed for you. That you don't have to explain yourself to. Soulmate may not be a lover. They may be a mother, father, a daughter, a best friend. It doesn't matter. It just matters that this is a special person. Like, you're whittling things down. You want quality over quantity right now. Milk and honey and time to go. It's time. Are you ready? Milk and honey is about what you've always wanted, the success, the abundance that's coming into your life. And it's almost like you're getting that and then you're leaving. You're not walking away from it, but you're moving on. So it's going to be less momentous than you think, because as soon as you get this soulmate, and as soon as you get the success, that's your launch pad. That's when you're going to be able to take off. That's not your ending, it's your beginning. And that's kind of what it's like. It's time to go. It's time to like rev up. You're getting this. This is something that's real. Soulmate energy. Okay. This is really interesting. And I mentioned this on the daily tarot card reading today. Like I said, you can go find it over on Astrology Motivation or my Instagram. But this topic came up: busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy. That's what I mean by truth. Not the shit you tell yourself, but the reality. Why am I actually doing things? Because it's almost like, are you trying to avoid something? What do you really need to say to your soul? What does your soul really need to say to you? Clearing negativity. Release negativity from within or around you. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Get to your truth. Ceremonies and celebrations. It's a time of important life passages such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, and or anniversaries. It's almost like there's a cleansing celebration that you're having. Almost like a ceremony to let go, say goodbye, and celebrate all that you have and all who you are by recognizing and honoring the past. Oh my goodness. Aries, we're going to head over to Vimeo soon. Let me pull some of your animal tarot cards first. I don't want this video to go too long. Your animal totems are important because they're the way that the universe is using the natural world to communicate with you. So it may not be the animal itself. It may just be a sign or a symbol of the animal, like an image of the animal. But when you see these symbols, when you see these images, these animals, become very aware of what's happening around you. Not only of what the symbology means, but become very aware of what's going on around you, because that's when God wants you to see something. Bring your ideas to life. Something that's been sitting inside of you that you know what? Trust the great mystery. Something that you thought was denied to you is coming to you, but you can't do any more work to bring it to you. You have to just continue to perform at the level of excellence that your heart tells you to perform at. Okay? Because that's your standard. That's the standard you set for yourself. And forget about anybody else or the money that they're paying you or the attention that it's getting. Enough. It's got to be back to you. It's got to be back to just you do this because you love it. That's where your focus has to be. The universe is going to take care of everything from there. That's the message that you needed to hear. We're going to continue that with the angel messages as well as tarot. Join me over for the extended. I love you guys. I'll see you over there.